John, stop laughing at the poor Predator. It died for a good cause. Just because it wouldn't start for one last video intro does not mean you have to be so mean to it. But seriously, we tried. The poor Predator was tired before it ended up on there. It just is done for. So, we've got this menagerie of Chinesium parts that MaXpeedingrods sent us. And we might as well throw it in this John Deere Frankenstein clutch pulley driven. These things are a game changer. I'll post a link down below, but seriously, like being able to drive an old school rig with this centrifugal clutch pulley setup is pure game changer in doing this kind of thing. But John uses this rig to haul the gravel cart. He uses it to help me in hauling machines out of the junkyard. We need to get a machine out of the junkyard. So therefore, this thing needs to stop being junk and go back to work. Okay, so let's see whether we can swap that in for the Predator. The other side to this is that this has electric start at a really decent price. I mean, in all honesty, these things are actually priced to sell really quickly with electric start. It's just the electric start isn't on there because it was smashed because they packaged it in like literally the least amount of origami paper possible. Okay, let's get the engine out of here. John's currently test fitting the exhaust because he decided he may or may not want the gas tank there. What was your reasoning on this gas tank thing?
Because, on here...
You gotta talk to the camera.
So, in my opinion, when there's this much open space up through here and whatnot, it looks a little awkward compared to having this removed and then having the gas tank right here, which then we could possibly put in more stores right here.
Are you trying to say you don't want my radiator overflow gasket? It's not good enough for you anymore? I see how you are.
No.
But in all honesty, John wants to see if that will fit right here and look in place, and I agree with him. Having the giant hole through there does kind of look a little wonky. Also, while we're here, I get asked about the throttle that's on this occasionally. So, on these, you've got a group of holes right there. If you slice this and you fold it up, then you can run your wire and crimp it into one of the pre-existing holes. Then you run that back, and off of a lawn tractor, like a single-cylinder Briggs or something like that, you grab the lockdown that is on that, and there you go. You've got an attachment for a throttle that cost you $0. It's all junkyard. While we're right here, I wanted to point out that not all Chinesium carburetors are created equally. So this one over here has no idle adjustment. This one is a HIPAA carburetor, and these are what I put on everything at this point. They have an idle air adjustment, it's easy to pop the idle jet out, and they use Honda main jets easily. The other thing is, if you have a choke that you have a weird filter and you need it to hold down, the underside of this you can drill out and then you can put a self-tapper into. But these ones, it's really, really thin and easy to break. The HIPAA carburetor ones are thicker and easier to drill out in order to tap that in. Okay, before we get any further into this, why couldn't you just keep your butt facing the other direction? My pants are falling down. Okay. My pants are falling down. Take 2. I'm totally putting this in video. Okay, go ahead and close the hood. Let's see if you like the gas tank look. What do you think? Yes? No? You think it looks fuller, better? What do you think?
It matches.
It matches? Alright, so we're going to run the gas tank that it has on it?
Yep.
Alright, cool. I'm okay with that. Go put the exhaust on, because I'm exhausted. Bad dad joke. Ching.
Hey, Dad, what are you doing?
I'm recovering from the fact I'm an idiot, and after doing like 28 of these, you would think I would remember that the little throttle nut piece, to work with these thumb throttles that we make gas pedals out of, you have to drill them out. So we might as well have John come over here and we'll show you what's going on. So this is your little nut for the wire, and if you drill it out, then this will fit through, and then when you screw it in, it locks it in, and there's no way that that can ever potentially pull back out. If you grind this off, you can get it through the stock hole, but then the problem is that starts unfrilling and doing stupid stuff. So this acts as a safety lock if you leave it. So you just drill that out. So now I've got to get that spring there, goes back onto this, and this spring here goes back onto this, and then that's going to go right there, and the cable is going to come around like so, and we'll be up and running. Alright, back and forth the gas pedal. Okay. Now we can see where it's moving. So on these, just for 5 seconds reference, this right here, that Phillips big giant thing there, is your idle control. And this one up here is your full throttle control. How do you like your 3D printed gas pedal other than the fact I broke the side of it?
It's nice.
It's nice. There we go. Admit it, none of you noticed that the stupid pull start was on backwards either, did you? I guarantee you didn't. Somebody's commenting they supposedly did. Damn it. Okay, I'll give it some choke. Alright, shut it off.
Did you forget wired in?
No, we're wired in. Why are we not killing? Oh, you know what? I'm dumb. I wired it to the wrong one. Yeah, I'm dumb. I wired it to the wrong one. There we go. I don't know how I screwed that up. Basically, they've got both of these shrouded, and I grabbed the wrong shrouded wire. It's this top shrouded one that comes out above the starter, not the lower one. This is most likely the charge circuit wire. I screwed up. The reason why I zoomed in on that is because this right here needs to be adjusted. Right now it's in as far as it'll go, so it's not coming far enough in order to actually kick it over. So I've got to unscrew this. That's part of why I use these. They've got an adjuster there, and they've got an adjuster here, and you've got the slide adjustment on the throttle. Full throttle all the way now. This is a Predator 212, and part of the reason why I decided to do the MaXpeedrod replacement was because, in theory, it should drop in to replace a 212. But if we look at this clutch and we look at just how close that is, I mean, I can't even fit my pinky in there. And you can see it slams all the way right up against that plate. But now, if we take this, and we come over here, now I'll slide this one onto here. And as you can see, that's got a kick out. And my entire pinky fits in there with extra. And the belt is attempting to go through the sidewall of the chassis. So I gotta do two things. I either gotta grind down that so that this slides on there further, or we grind that little chunk there out enough so that this slams back further. I'm more inclined to grind on the $25 part than I am to grind on the $200 engine right now. A little bit of grinding later to take the backside off of there, and now you can see we're inside the frame and we're right where we ought to be. Time to throw the belt back on. There it goes. Bump it, make sure it engages. No, bump it, bump the gas. Make sure the belt engages. Okay, go ahead and put it in first and bring it forward a foot just to make sure. You're not in gear. Much better. It helps when the transmission bolts haven't fallen out and you weld them back in. What gear are you after? 4? Remember, sometimes you gotta hold it and bump the throttle. What? Sometimes you gotta hold the lever into 4th and bump the throttle. There you go. Do you think that's better than the Predator that was half dead? Yeah. You like having a new engine? Yeah. Alright, curb stomp that thing and see if it'll do a wheelie. Nope. No wheelie. I will do a burnout though. Hey, you gotta let off that gas before you power brake. I just saw a puff come out of the clutch. Don't do that. That poor little bugger of a clutch was not meant to drive a whole tractor. Alright, let's put you to work. Let's just say the poor hydro dragster has not lived in the nicest of conditions for the last 2 years. But we're going to get the tires pumped up and rip it out of here because it's time for it to become something else. I'm trusting you with my purple riding life. Alright, here we are on the purple thing. We're going to widen this screen out. Alright, give it a second gear bump. Hey you, being in gear helps. All right. Okay, go, go, go. Give her some love. Yeah, I don't know if you guys can hear it, but the rear end underneath me is making bad noises. Well, John's off and running to play with his John Deere now that it's back up and going again. And if you want to see what we're doing with this, I would suggest you subscribe to our second YouTube channel, RCG Racing, because we'll be working on this week.